It has been years that it was first announced that Deadpool Wolverine would be teaming up, and it is finally here. How does Deadpool fare in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Let's find out. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Movie Dive. Today we're going to be diving into the new Deadpool and Wolverine film. Before we do, please not forget to subscribe to the Movie Dive. I'll be giving away a free $50 gift card to one out of every 100 subscribers. If you comment down below, you have a higher chance of winning, only one winner per month. Before I do get started, I will be doing a spoiler section towards the end of this video. I'll timestamp that down below, so if you do want to hear some of the spoilers I talk about, you can jump to that section, but I will be reviewing the movie first with no spoilers. So of course, as many of you know, Hugh Jackman returns as Wolverine. We've got Ryan Reynolds returning as Deadpool. This finally comes off the back of Disney acquiring Fox, and they are able to bring all the X-Men into their universe. There's a bunch of ongoing battles of will Deadpool have a home in the MCU because of the R rating that it has. A good part about the Deadpool and Wolverine marketing that they had going on is they didn't really tell you anything about what the movie was about. They kind of kept a lot of things hidden in the trailer. In that case, you're trying to figure out, do we know who the villain is? Do we know the path that these characters are going on? Which was a little bit of the fun to watch this film, is kind of watch it with some new eyes. I try to stay away from all spoilers, so I didn't really know what was going to happen or what surprises I was in for. Now, to start with the positives of the movie, is there are, of course, moments that are laugh out loud funny, as you'd expect with a Deadpool movie. Ryan Reynolds was born for this character, so when he plays this character, he always knocks out of the park, especially with the comedic bits. I was also pretty surprised with some of the action scenes. A lot of them were really cool and fun to watch, especially when Deadpool and Wolverine finally fight off with each other. That was in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, he's always great. He's just a great actor in general, so you know he's always going to bring it. And when he has his time on screen, he's very good with what he has to work with. So that being said, now I'm just going to get into the negatives of this movie. I'm going to cut to the chase by saying maybe the movie wasn't what I wanted, but in overall general sense, I would say that I was not a fan of this movie. It has good comedy, and the Deadpoolness is still there in the movie, but bringing that into an MCU where you're trying to tell people that he's here to save the Marvel Cinematic Universe that is struggling a bit lately, he doesn't do that. In fact, he is there to parody the Marvel Cinematic Universe and kind of shine light more on what has been shitty and wrong about it within the last few years, and just reminding you of why the multiverse hasn't worked as well as some people would hope it would. And the storyline in Deadpool and Wolverine seems pretty rushed. I wanted a pretty good cohesive story of how Deadpool would enter the MCU. The way they did that was kind of thrown together really quickly, and on we go. If you look back at the previous Deadpool movies, those stories are kind of quick-paced moving, and you kind of forget about them because you know what kind of movie it is. I have said this before, but I'm going to say it now that I've seen the movie, is that Deadpool just style did not work in a cinematic universe that they're trying to make more serious again. I'm sure people are going to get upset in the comments. Hey, this is what Deadpool does. This is Deadpool. I know what Deadpool is. It just didn't work for me in this context. Just like Multiverse of Madness, there are cameos that are very fan service like. Some of them, even though they're fan service, they really work in the sense that they're really funny. Now, I'd say this. I was hoping for Deadpool and Wolverine to push the MCU forward and kind of really bring all the X-Men into that world in a cohesive way. It seemed more of a celebration of the Fox universe. I think this is the most a Deadpool movie has not landed a lot of its jokes with me. A lot of them really do work, don't get me wrong, but then there's a lot of them that I found myself not laughing at. I personally stayed away from all reviews, everything before seeing this movie. I have no idea what other people have thought about it. I could go watch some reviews after I create my review right now and realize I'm completely wrong in other people's eyes. I'm not one of these people who hates everything Marvel. Up until Endgame, I was a massive Marvel fanboy. Endgame and Infinity War, I've watched those movies about 20 times. But when it comes to the multiverse and them kind of throwing out their hints that Deadpool is supposed to save it, it just didn't do that for me. It kept it kind of in limbo and kind of had the same issues all the multiverse movies had, which is using the multiverse as a story crutch just doesn't get me invested. This is going to be a very unpopular opinion, what I'm about to say as well, is I do not like the yellow suit on Wolverine. In the cartoons growing up, it was amazing to watch. There's a reason that when Hugh Jackman first became Wolverine, they didn't give him this bright yellow suit. It's because it does look cartoonish and it takes away from the seriousness of the movie. Again, I might be yelled at for saying that. Again, all of this could be my fault. I wasn't expecting such a comedy, straightforward parody type movie, and I know that's what Deadpool is. I was hoping for that, but also some levity to the situation of Deadpool entering the MCU and some stakes at hand here, which I did not feel in it. Again, a lot of the battles were really fun. A lot of the jokes did land. A lot of the cameos were really fun to watch, even though they were pushing it with the fan service, and I don't know if they were really needed. But because of that, this movie just spotlighted a lot of the issues I've been having with the Marvel Cinematic Universe when it comes to the multiverse saga. So before I jump into the spoilers, I will be going ahead and giving Deadpool and Wolverine a 50 out of 100. You guys let me know what you thought about it. Comment down below, and we'll see you next time on the Movie Dive. And now it's time for the spoilers. What's going on, guys? The spoiler section is going to be quick because it's not going to be very long. First of all, I'll talk about the fun cameos. The first one, when Chris Evans popped up, I was worried because when he first showed up on screen, I was like, is that supposed to be Captain America? This is kind of lame. But when he did the Human Torch thing, that was actually a really funny twist on his cameo, especially coming from the Fantastic Four and how everyone kind of cheesed on him back in the day. Everyone's going to be talking about not only Jennifer Garner coming back, but also Wesley Snipes coming back as Blade, which was cool to see. And then we had Gambit played by Channing Tatum, which was always a rumor. That one I did expect to see in the movie. He still did some kind of accent. It was like French and Southern, which it looked like he was kind of improvising. And at first I was like, is that just a terrible accent? But then it looked like he was doing it for comedic effect, and that was really working. Some words you didn't even understand what he was saying, which was really funny. It looked like Channing Tatum was having fun with it. But that being said, if you're looking for a movie that has some kind of stakes in it or makes you feel more invested, that's not going to happen because everything that happens in this movie seems like it's leaning towards a comedic angle. I will talk about the first scene of the movie, which actually made me laugh quite a bit, which the first thing Deadpool talks about is, I know you guys are worried about we're going to ruin Logan's legacy, and he kind of says, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna do it anyway. And he kind of goes into the grave looking for Logan, finds the skeleton, and kills a bunch of TVA agents with his bones, or I guess you could say metal bones. I thought that was really funny as well. One part I had a gripe with, the other variants of Deadpool, one of them, the one who had the long hair and had the dog with him, he was funny. I didn't find the dog funny. I feel like that was another move just to kind of push toys onto people. And then the final battle scene where they had to fight 100 Deadpools, it just didn't do it for me. It seemed like it came out of nowhere, and they did film a cool action scene with it, but nothing happened in that scene that made me care about it. I don't know what happened. I do wish in the TVA they were able to get Owen Wilson. Maybe he was busy or something. So whenever they were at the TVA, it didn't seem like the same one from the show Loki. As well as I'm not sure if people haven't seen Loki, if they would be confused or not. I feel like they would just kind of watch this, be like, where the hell are they right now? But yeah, the editing kind of seemed choppy of the movie. Things were just kind of moving fast paced all over the place, and the story was kind of not really coherent. There's probably a lot of Easter eggs I missed. I'll definitely be checking out new rock stars to see what Easter eggs happened in the movie that I did not see. So yeah, that is my spoiler section. Again, if you guys can go ahead and subscribe to the Movie Dive. You might completely disagree with how I felt about Deadpool and Wolverine. More power to you if you liked it. And we will see you next time here on the Movie Dive.